annual convention is now established as the premier global forum for connecting and collaborating in the global mining industry. Over 25,000 attendees from 126 countries are here today. So on behalf of my fellow Canadians, welcome to Canada, the mining capital of the world. The City of Toronto, my home, is the global hub for mining finance. Toronto's stock exchanges comprise 70% of the world's mining equity capital in 2012, raising over $10 billion. 364 mining companies are listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, together valued at $381 billion. The city is home to 57% of the world's publicly traded mining companies. Toutefois, l'exploitation minière a une incidence dans l'ensemble du pays, motivant notamment les économies du Québec, de l'Ontario, de la Colombie-Britannique et de la Saskatchewan. Depuis 2004, le Canada est la principale destination des investissements de l'exploitation minière au monde. Et il est facile de comprendre pourquoi. Pendant 6 ans consécutifs, le Forum économique mondial a coté notre système bancaire comme étant le plus fiable au monde. Notre ratio de la dette nette au PIB, nos prix de revient de l'entreprise sont les plus fiables parmi les pays de G7. Le Canada a obtenu une cote de crédit AAA de toutes les grandes agences d'évaluation de crédit. De plus, Bloomberg nous a placés au 2e rang des pays les plus accueillants pour les entreprises. Mining has an impact across the country, driving the economies of Quebec, Ontario, British Columbia, Saskatchewan, and beyond. Since 2004, Canada has been the top global destination for mineral exploration investment. And it's easy to see why. For 6 straight years, the World Economic Forum has rated our banking system the soundest in the world. Our net debt to GDP ratio and our business costs are the lowest among G7 countries. Canada has a AAA credit rating from all the major credit rating agencies. And Bloomberg ranked us as the world's 2nd friendliest country for business. Because Canada has a first-rate fiscal foundation, we ended 2013 as one of the top growing economies in the G7. Over the coming decade, hundreds of major resource projects worth $650 billion are slated to come on stream here. Few other countries in the world are bringing on projects of this scale at this pace. Your industry employs more than 400,000 people across this country. Mining accounted for $60 billion in GDP and 20% of the total value of exported Canadian goods in a nation where 1 in 5 jobs are tied to international trade. And that is why I and my colleagues have been traveling around the world to make sure that this industry has even more opportunities to succeed. I was recently in India, where I signed a letter of intent for cooperation in iron ore and steel. In China, I signed a memorandum of understanding on bilateral investment and green mining. China alone accounts for 40% of world metal demand. Without exception, in each country I've visited, one overarching message is clear. The world wants and needs Canada's vast resources. The world wants to do business with Canada, and the world admires Canada's economic and social success. Before I continue, let me take a moment to address an issue that undoubtedly is on the minds of many of you, and that is the decision to reject Taseko's proposed New Prosperity Mine, a decision which I appreciate some people in the industry are questioning. Now, you know that our government has taken action and has been advocated for your industry in Canada and around the world. However, government has a responsibility to balance economic and environmental considerations when reviewing resource projects. New Prosperity underwent a rigorous review process by an independent panel. The panel identified significant adverse environmental effects, very similar to those identified by an earlier panel report in 2010. Based on that finding, the project was not approved. We invite the submission of another proposal that addresses the environmental issues. Now, let me emphasize what I hope you know. Our government remains committed to supporting your industry, and we are taking action to help you grow. This past year has been challenging for many, with capital very hard to come by, especially for small exploration companies. But I'm confident that the new issue market will rebound, along with commodity prices, as they always have. And our government will help you maximize the potential of Canada's natural resources. Let me give you some examples of the action we're taking. Canada is modernizing its regulatory system for resource project reviews. Our plan for responsible resource development strengthens environmental protection standards with the goal of world-class protection. At the same time, it's providing certainty and predictability for investors by introducing fixed timelines for assessments and reducing duplication. Our plan also strengthens Aboriginal consultations. We know the importance of skills, training, and jobs for Aboriginal communities. Mining employs more Aboriginal Canadians than any other sector in the Canadian economy. So we want Aboriginal people to achieve long-term benefits for the development of our resources. To help companies target new exploration activity in Canada's north, we've committed an additional $100 million over the next 7 years for the second phase of our geomapping for energy and minerals, or GEM. Prior to the 1980s, as you know, most major projects in Canada were discovered by accident. That was then, and this is now. The modern mining industry simply cannot hope to find gold in a river. When exploring for minerals in the second largest country on Earth, good geological data helps exploration companies find the needle in the haystack. Many companies have credited the GEM program for their investment decisions. Companies like Stornoway Diamond Corp.